by the way physics works, by the ever-existing identity between rest and motion, because, all motion is also always a perfect state of rest, we realize that the universe as a whole is never affected by time. Time only works locally. There is no time of the universe as a whole, which Einstein demonstrated by stating that each observer has his own time. There is no universal time. The Big Bang Theory and other equally misguided theories about the origins of the universe say that absolute time exists. The theory of relativity is very clear in stating that there is no privileged situation, that there is no privileged state of movement, that there is no privileged referential, that no referential is truer or more correct than the others. In short, there is no truest time in the universe. Any time measured or observed always depends on the situation of the observer. So the universe never had a beginning. The universe being eternal with respect to any time, it is also infinite in space for the same reason. The universe has no limits or absolute boundaries, neither in terms of time nor in terms of space. Living in an eternal universe, every living being, by the way physics works, is also eternal, endless, in perfect copies. There can be no new physical phenomena in an eternal universe. In an eternal universe, everything that exists today has existed in exactly the same way at some other time or place in the past, and will always exist in the same way again in the future. In an eternal universe, everything physical is repeated in perfect copies. Science itself only exists because all physical phenomena and scientific experiments are perfectly repeatable. The eternity of all living beings happens right here within the universe, and the way physics works and always repeats itself never changes. Just as a physical phenomenon is always the same as another physical phenomenon that repeats itself. Water always freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, for example. Every living being is exactly the same as its copies, which also repeat themselves. Our consciousness depends on our physique. The consciousness of every living being is always linked to its physique. Since the universe is eternal and the way physics works, the physique of each living being from time to time is repeated in exact copies, and the consciousness of each living being is also repeated. Our consciousness depends on our memories. Our memory is a constituent of our personality. The way the universe exists and the way physics works, none of us is an individual. We are all crowds. When we look at a physical object at rest, we see that it has a certain fixed volume, a certain fixed position in relation to us as time passes. If this object starts to present a movement in relation to us, we realize that it continues to present the same volume as in the previous situation when it was at rest, although now its position in space varies in relation to us. If we try to visualize the volume of the body during a certain interval of elapsed time, making a sum of the positions of the body during the movement that it presents to us, we arrive at the concept of what is called a space-time block, which is nothing more than the visualization of the position of the body in space during the entire time of the movement it presents to us. The object thus seems to have its volume increased in one direction, stretched in a dimension of space that corresponds to the dimension of space through which the body performed its movement in relation to us. If we do this with all the moving bodies that we observe, we get our block of local space-time. An observer situated on the moon, looking at the same movement in which we visualize the increase in volume of the physical object in one direction to obtain our space-time block, will see that in addition to the increase in volume of the object in the direction of the movement we observe, the volume of the object also increases in one more direction, because of the moon's motion relative to the Earth, and the volume of the object increases much more in the view of the space-time block seen from the moon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and give your like if you enjoy it.